Bare asses be damned. Halo Episode 5 delivers in almost every way. More coming at you right now. The first season of Halo has been, well, not all that interesting to say the least. Episode 1 started off with an absolute bang, and while I have enjoyed the episode since, things did slow down a little too much, if I was to be honest. John and Halsey's story is intriguing. Seeing Kai and the rest of Silver Team has been really interesting. But then we have the Quan storyline with Soren, and honestly, I couldn't care less about those two at this point. But after 3 episodes of character-driven story, it was nice to see some action in a show based around an action-heavy video game. Now, this episode brings us to Chief and Halsey researching the artifact found in the previous episode. The artifact activates, sending a beacon, but also emitting a loud noise affecting everyone around except for John. He rushes over to it, lays his hands on it, and once again gets another flashback. Now, I know some people are kind of sick of these flashbacks that we've been getting, but honestly, I kind of like them. And I've always envisioned a Halo show doing something like this, where every episode we get a little bit of a flashback as John learns who he is and we see some of the training and everything. So I've really enjoyed that myself. But this specific flashback is where he sees how he was abducted by Halsey for the Spartan 2 program. And he becomes enraged and he actually lunges towards Halsey, but is immobilized by Cortana. I think that's going to be the most controversial aspect of this episode, because we've never seen him actually get upset at Halsey, at least not that I've seen in what I've read and played. But I really like this because it's showing his emotion, his anger, his distrust at this point. Now, shortly after that happens, the Covenant forces come and they arrive at the planet to take the artifact. This is where shit gets a little crazy. Finally, we see grunts and jackals. And let me tell you, there's a couple moments. There's a part where a grunt jumps in a warthog and tries to start driving it. And Chief comes over. It's like, oh, let me take over there. And he kills the grunt and takes over driving the warthog. I love that part. Another really cool aspect, which I can't believe we've never seen before, is jackals running around with like an energy sword type of weapon. So having a shield and this sword looked really cool and was pretty menacing as he was tearing apart Marines, which is another aspect I absolutely loved. Finally seeing Marines and Spartans fighting side by side against the Covenant. I loved seeing that. The battle is crazy, intense, fast-paced. The mission for Chief at this point in time and his Spartans is to get that artifact to Halsey and her ship so they can get it off planet. However, while he's on his way to take the artifact there, Kai, one of the Spartans, is getting overrun, and John decides to abandon the mission to go save Kai's life. Now this, let me tell you, this is where we got a look for the first time in a Halo show of a brute. I think it could be Tartarus. It is a brute chieftain of some sort, but he comes down, hits Chief with his hammer, which Chief quickly picks up a shield, gets hit, blasts back. The brute takes the artifact and goes into his ship and goes away. Finally, we see Maquis hands herself over to the UNSC. I'm thinking it's going to be similar to like what we saw a couple episodes ago, where she turns herself over to the UNSC to possibly get to the other artifact to take back with her. This was the most Halo episode of the bunch so far. Seeing more of the Covenant and a battle was absolutely exciting. If the show can give us 4 more episodes of this, then I think we will be in for quite a treat building to season 2. But let me know your thoughts on everything in this episode and anything that's come before in the comments. And don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. With all that said, guys, I will talk to all of you later.